guys, thank you so much for joining this very special episode of the Failure Report. So during this time, I wanted to be able to introduce something new. So we're going to start doing minisodes. And during these minisodes, I'm really going to just talk directly to you guys about some of my failures, talking about highlights from some of the episodes that we've already recorded, and really just opening up our community and having more candid conversations, and being public about our professional failures. And honestly, one of the questions I get the absolute most, outside of what is my favorite person to interview or who's been my favorite person to interview, is why did I start the Failure Report? So I started the Failure Report with just an idea. I was coming off of sabbatical, which we will definitely talk about. I took a professional sabbatical for about 2 years, but I was coming off of this sabbatical, and I was getting back into business, and I realized that I felt like I was missing something. I took sabbatical because I was just burnt out, but I was like, I feel like if I had a business partner, that would make this journey much more enjoyable. And so I was at a networking event and ran into this gentleman. I did not know him before this encounter, and we really just hit it off. I mean, business ideas, concepts, theories. We were both business consultants. I specialized in marketing. He specialized in finance. So that's a really great duo to be able to consult like small businesses, especially. And so we decided that we were going to partner, and it started out seeming so wonderful. I was so excited about this partnership because, again, it was the thing I felt like I was missing. So we got to our very first meeting, and I noticed that his posture changed when we got in the meeting. He was like, yeah, we've got about $1 million worth of clients in our pipeline right now, and we're scaling at this X rate. And I'm looking over at him like, who is he talking about? Because this isn't the business that we just created. We don't have $1 million in our pipeline. We haven't scaled anything. This is our first prospect that we actually got to sit at the table with. I was so confused. So we get out of the meeting and I'm like, what was that? And he's like, oh, he kind of brushed it off like nothing. Like, just, a little way that you talk to people. But I watched the reactions of the individuals that we were talking to, and this was a small business. They were doing probably about 3 to 5 million a year. So they were a modest sized company, but they were completely turned off. So I kind of just left that as an idea of like, I don't know what happened there, but maybe the next time will be better, because of course that company did not call us back. So we get to the next opportunity. This time we're flying. Now, what is amazing about the world is people find you through your website. So your website is where we found the majority of our traffic. It's currently where we find all of our traffic now for Joint Effort, which is my forensic marketing agency, for the Ambition Planner, which is my daily planner for women of faith. All of our traffic comes through our website, which is great. This is how most people, or through social media, which is how most people find anything that you do, right? So we get this great traffic through our website. So we're flying out to wherever to meet with these individuals. We get there, and I mentioned to him about the last meeting because I'm like, it's still fresh in my mind. It was only a few weeks before, this new meeting, and we're standing out there waiting to be seen. And I'm like, okay, whatever that was last time, like, let's not do that again. He's like, oh yeah. So we get in the meeting and we're doing the handshakes and the introductions, and he's like, yeah, so gentlemen, let me just jump right to it. We got about 1.5 million in our pipeline. It's not gone up. And we're looking at businesses like this. And so even though we would really love to do business with you all, I just really wanted you all to understand that we have a lot of prospects that are out there. And basically he was positioning himself like it would be an honor for you all to work with us. And when I realized that that's what was happening, we left the meeting and I was like, oh no, sir, we're not going to lie to people in order to bring in business. And so I'm looking at this as a business practice, of course, that I've seen before. I started my professional career in politics. Enough said, right? I also retired after 13 years. But I was looking at this and I was like, that's not the way that I do business. I don't need to lie about opportunities or prospects or my pipeline or how fast we're scaling or our staff or any of those things in order to get a contract. So we leave that opportunity. I'm following up with them. I'm not getting any responses. And I'm looking at this like this is how this the first opportunity kind of panned out. So, I'm talking to my husband about it, and how often do we lean on our partners to just say, like, our friends, and are like, hey, this is what's going on, and he was kind of giving me like the why are you still in this situation kind of eye, and I'm like, because this next opportunity is going to be big, and it's just right around the corner. I really believed like, even though that one didn't work out, and the one before that didn't work out, this next one is going to be different. And needless to say, opportunity after opportunity was exactly the same. And so we were leaving a failed business meeting. It was nothing but a failed business meeting in Colorado. And we were in the airport terminal, and I was sitting there feeling so defeated. We had just gotten into a huge argument because I am not one to hold my tongue about the way I feel, especially whenever it comes to now my business. I'm a partner in this business. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to do this. This isn't working out. At this point, I'm about 9.5, 10 months in to no opportunities. So we've not made any money. Now I'm feeling like I've lied to a whole bunch of people from sea to shining sea. I'm now a toggle to this person that I don't have faith in. And I was feeling like a failure, but I didn't know what to do. At this point, I wasn't telling my husband anymore that these business opportunities weren't going well because I was embarrassed. I was acting like everything was going well when I was speaking to my friends. They're like, so how is it getting back in business? They're checking in on me, my mental health, for mental health purposes. Like, are we getting back into our old habits? Because, you kind of ran yourself ragged there the first time. And I was like, no, everything's good. I put on the whole face, and I was going through all the motions. But deep down inside, I knew that I had hit a complete brick wall, and that we were not in a good place. So in that airport terminal in Colorado, I wrote out the business plan for the failure report, and I wanted to create a space where professionals could talk openly and candidly about their professional failures. And our whole mission of the failure report is to remove the shame and the isolation associated with failing in business. And it's one of those things, it's like whenever I realized how often people fail, when I realized how long it takes for people to call time of death, in my case, it was almost 10 months. For us to say, you know what, I've spent a lot of money, I've traveled, I've wined and dined, I've bought new suits, I've dry cleaned suits, I've replaced taps on my heels, I'm not making a dime. And mind you all, I had just come off sabbatical, so this is my first step out into business. And 10 months without a check, baby, that wears on you after a while. And so I sat there and said, you know what, I want a space where we can have just what we're having right now. Real conversations about failing and what it looks like, and how do you pivot, how do you grow from those experiences. And I really feel like listening to others experiences will help you to realize that you're not alone, and then you can also always be able to pick yourself back up again. Because I heard this a long time ago, and it just rang true in this situation, is that failures happen for you and not to you. If we understand that failures happen for our good, they're not been created to make us stop or not pursue our goals and ambitious dreams. They're not put in our way to be able to deter us from the purpose and mission that we have for our life. But we have to realize that they happen for our good. Because if you look back at every failure, you can see how it truly was stepping stones to your next success. So in our next episode, I would love to talk about how I got out of that partnership, and how that partnership actually led to the next major opportunity. Thank you guys so much for joining this mini episode. If you liked our episode, make sure you like and subscribe and ring the button so that you can make sure that you hear all of our episodes that we have coming up. Also, we have already recorded season 2, and we're doing a little bit of a rewind on all of those episodes. So we will be re-airing all of our season 2 episodes following this episode. Thanks, guys.